Hello, YouTube subscribers. Today or tonight, whenever you watch this, I am doing another Marvel movie review. And tonight's Marvel movie review is on Venom: The Last Dance. Um, as obviously you guys can tell by the title and the picture and what I'm holding. Um, I will start out with sorry, I'm a little thirsty, but I will start out with I pre-ordered my Venom: The Last Dance tickets um the same weekend that I want to say not on Friday night, but on Saturday night. I want to say Saturday night. The day after I saw Terrifier 3, and I decided, I wonder what's playing the weekend after I saw Terrifier, and then the weekend after that, if I could go that far, which I was able to, and I saw Venom: The Last Dance, and I'm like, and I texted my friend to see if he to see what good time, and we decided to pick 440, 440, and we went after work today. I wear my Venom shirt as well, and I was really excited that basically me and my friend was the first ones that got our tickets, especially for 440. Um, um, Sorry. Anyway, and after, uh, so I was really excited. The first opening weekend for Venom: The Last Dance, I was looking forward to it last week slash weekend, including this whole entire week. And I was so excited to get off work, with my friend to go see Venom: The Last Dance. And then once we got there, I was already excited to go see the movie. And I thought it was cool how they had on the screens of the background was the Venom spider, that not how it's designed on this shirt, but the comic book classic Venom spider. And I'm like, oh, that's cool. And then I looked over and I'm like, oh, uh, yeah, Venom buckets. Looks cool. And Venom cup. Then I looked down, saw them still have Venom: The Last Dance cups and buckets. And that's when it blew my mind. I'm like, first opening weekend, I get to have movie themed buckets this time. Because normally I go the next week, after the opening weekend, and I'm not sometimes, always, I'm not that lucky to get movie theme cup or bucket, so it kind of sucked. But this time I was so excited because I'm like, the movie I deeply love, I actually get movie theme bucket, which I really like and worth the price, and cup to go with it. Dude. But um but the bucket and cup. Dude. Anyway. um and then I went in to me and my friend went in, got sit in our seats, comfortable recliner seats. Oops. Uh, Shit. Sorry. Anyway, comfortable recliner seats. Um, Uh, we missed like a few trailers, which hey, that was fine. We walked in the middle of the Craven trailer, like the first few ending moments of the Craven trailer, which I'm not really excited for, which I'm even more not excited for after this Venom movie, to be honest. Honestly, I'm gonna be honest with you all. I am going to be deeply, physically honest with you all. And I get it on my friend. He did not want me to be that harsh on the Venom The Last Dance movie. But let's be honest here. There's nothing really good to say about this movie. I mean, there's a few things, sure, a few, but not a lot. And that sucked. Because, and I already reviewed the first two Venom movies. They're not that great reviews, but I reviewed them. The first movie was good. It wasn't like my top favorite. Most of the time, the first movies aren't like in horror or superhero. But the second movie of Venom was my favorite Venom movie. Basically, my favorite chart for the Venom movies. Second movie, Venom Let There Be Carnage. The first Venom movie is second. Very on the bottom of my favorite Venom movie list is Venom The Last Dance. Let There Be Carnage, the first movie, the third movie. And honestly, Sony has no freaking idea what they're doing. Basically, this will be in history once again a third movie that will remind us how bad Tobey Maguire movie was. But at least Tobey Maguire third movie took time and did not rush. This movie, Venom The Last Dance. Once it starts, it goes quick. Once you're in, you feel like you just walked in, and it just non-stop, quick jump, quick jump, quick jump. Action scenes, quick jump, quick jump. Next scene, quick jump, quick jump. No taking time, no breathing room. So many storylines going on. That's not even worth being in the movie if you're not going to take time and allow it to breathe. That's the whole point of a movie, is to allow it to take time and breathe. Tobey Maguire third movie, yeah, sure, it had 3 villains, multiple stories, but it took time and allowed it to breathe. Perfectly? No. But it still allowed itself to take time and breathe for what it had. Venom The Last Dance, Eddie Brock and Venom on the run. Cool. I mean, okay, let the opening scene, the direct first opening scene, I really liked. I will say, I enjoyed it. Even which I was not expecting it to have it to be its opening scene, first opening scene. I was expecting it to be like maybe its second scene or its post credit scene, but nope. uh, uh, but basically it opens up with Null explaining he was the first creator of the symbiotes. He's that he is basically the ruler. He is strong. He is feared. While he's like in his sitting on his throne, uh, connected by like symbiote, uh, webbing type technical something like that, holding a sword like this with his white hair stretched down, complete like it looks like it's wet going down that far to his legs, while he gives a dialogue saying that he was and will always be the most feared being in the galaxy. That he is Null, the king of symbiotes, the one that made symbiotes. But once betrayed by the symbiotes, and locked in a prison that he wished to be out of. And he sends these type of uh xenomorph symbiotes after Venom, Eddie Brock and Venom, to get like this thing that basically that went back, had to explain to go back because Eddie Brock didn't remember dying, because the only way a host and a host, a human being, and a symbiote can get it is if their host died, and then the symbiote re-heals the host to bring him or her back to life, and it creates this thing that can basically that can basically its main idea and the biggest thing they more explained about it was it can't, if Null gets his hands on it, and it can release him from his symbiote prison. Did Venom go into small little detail very quickly of what its power is? Yes, it can't, or at least I think it can. I can't really remember, not trying to be mean, because that's how fast the movie went. But Venom did say if Venom died, or if you died, Eddie, the thing will disappear. And basically, while Venom was explaining what it looked like and stuff, I automatically knew what it was because I saw the design of it on a Carnage figure that I learned from the comic book storyline of Venom or Spider-Man. But so it so how it quickly went from that to to basically the government, this guy from the government going after Eddie, because how the government bullshit, then destroying Area 51 because people know about it, and then having a second building calling it Area 55. Like, people isn't gonna figure out that shit either. It's like, you might as well keep Area 51 alive if you're that worried that people might find out about Area 55. It's stupid. To me, if that's actually how our government has it, they're freaking stupid. Anyway, um, and the girl scientist, the main girl scientist. Okay, cool. The two girl main scientists, they're cool. They're awesome. Side characters. Same as the government guy. But they're worthless. They really were as characters. They basically jumped them in with barely any story plot. Barely any reasoning. But the blonde chick scientist, she was there because of her brother, and her brother accidentally died from a storm because they were trying to run off a beach. She grabbed her brother's hand. A lightning bolt shot down from the cloud to her, and when since she was holding her brother's hand, it went down her arm and into her brother and killed her brother. Which you could tell when she's dreaming about it before she goes to Area 55. That she has like a lightning shaped vein going from her shoulder, her neck, down her shoulder to her arm to her hand, and that's where, and it's like, okay, cool, that's why she's a government scientist. Wow, cool, I guess. Original meaning why she was there, she was supposed to be a love interest to Eddie Brock, but they took that out apparently. They shortened it. They really made it short. Her brother was the main reason why she was working as a government scientist, because her brother wanted to see if there was life forms out there. But after we first meet Null and hear that Null sent one of his xenomorph symbiotes to Earth, we see Eddie Brock basically at the bar from No Way Home, jumping back, like a different type of way, jumping back to his universe. It wasn't the same way. It had a different scene, which I'm guessing because of Sony, which to me is dumb. But hey, and then he appears into like the same bar, same guy, kind of different feeling of the same guy, and Venom helps Eddie make a Bloody Mary because he's drunk or has a hangover. And basically that's what all through the movie Eddie complains is, how strong can I, and how many days can I have one more than one hangover? Dude, you're going through a freaking roller coaster. Venom is pushing you one after another. This movie is quickly pushing you one after another, going from one destination to another. Because since Eddie finds out that he has to be on the run, they plan to go to New York. Well, that fails because the xenomorph symbiote finds them. And basically at the very that you think just the first fighting scene was cool, and they took time with that, but made it more jokeful, which hey, was fine. Just Eddie on the run, running without shoes most of the time, complaining about hangovers, no shoes and stuff. Okay, cool, I guess. Him running into hippies that wants to see a family of hippie. Well, a dad and a mom hippie, but a daughter doesn't really give two shits what her dad and mom is into. When she knows her mom is just riding along with the husband because the husband is basically more of the hippie and wants to go see cool aliens in Area 51 before it gets completely destroyed. Man. In a hippie car with van and um um okay, cool, I guess, too. Which it was cool to see the actor from Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man movies, the actor that played the Lizard, and that come back to play the father hippie. Um, I'm trying really hard not to shit on this movie, and basically, that's all you can do because basically after that you basically have Venom, Eddie and Venom in Las Vegas, um, runs into um, um, oh shit, I forgot her name. The Chinese lady that ran the little store in the first two Venom movies. Miss Chin. Miss Chin. Forgive me if I said that wrong. But Miss Chin, in Las Vegas. And it was like very quick, very short. She was playing game in a casino, and then Eddie runs into her. Venom was more excited to see her than Eddie, which I found that really odd that Eddie didn't. Which I get it. He had a hangover, which he was still trying to get over somehow. Even though that was like a few nights ago. And he's been through hell, but he still should have been excited to see her. And after that, they go to her little room that big room that she magically got from the whole casino. Whatever. She quickly explained that, which he barely heard a word of that. There was a callback. There's a lot of like certain callbacks, but like there was a callback to one of Tom Cruise's movies. Uh, uh, Rayman. Before Eddie went to the casino. And then when Mrs. Chin and Eddie is in her room, Venom comes out, not even caring about the little thing. Apparently it's connected right here. And not worrying about the xenomorph symbiote hellhound coming after him, and decide to dance with Mrs. Chin to Mamma Mia, the song of Mamma Mia. I'm like, after the beginning of seeing Null for the first time, kind of, and the Venom Eddie / Venom's fighting scene, releasing all the dogs. After that, you basically lose what the hell you're watching. Because once you get into the hippie stuff and then the dancing scene, you're like, what the hell am I even watching? Am I watching a Venom movie, or am I watching a Sky High movie? Which, please don't comment down below. Don't, that I just referenced a Disney superhero movie. I know Disney had a name of a superhero movie, but which I love that movie, but I actually felt like that's what, because I know every fan knew that they had a bunch of story plots already for Venom the Last Dance. Was basically he was gonna go find his universe Peter Parker, because that was the last thing he was going to do in Tom Holland's universe, was to go find this Peter Parker. That was okay. Something they should have still put in. Especially with Sony knowing that basically they're on the verge of desperately holding on of half of the little rights they have for Spider-Man. So they don't lose it completely lose it to Marvel. They had a golden ticket, but they didn't use it, which was dumb. Even though they still announced, and they still confirm to this day, yes, Venom's universe does have a Peter Parker. Did they know? Do they still know if he's Spider-Man yet in that universe? No, they have no freaking clue. But they should have done that so they could even continue with the idea that even Kevin Feige likes of there being a live action movie trilogy, even Spider-Verse. Second story plot they were going to go with was basically, even though Carnage, instead of Venom, it was Carnage kills somebody in the prison, and the army government guy was basically his dad, and that was, and since he couldn't go after Carnage, he was going to go after Venom, and Venom's grandson, Toxin, which we still got to meet Toxin. Very small, very little. In the beginning, we heard that he got shot, which the government probably threw it out there. Oh, well, and then the scientist lady said he was barely breathing because the symbiote he already had left his body. Okay, well, if that was Toxin that left his body, then what's this? And she turned around and said, we bonded him with a new symbiote. Well, that's a new symbiote, and that's supposed to be Toxin. Then what was the symbiote that was already in the cop from the second movie? But we still got Toxin. A very greenish, blackish design than from the comics. Which, hey, if we got a figure of Toxin, I would have deeply liked that figure. I'd be the first one to get the figure. We got to see multiple, more throughout the movie, as ball-shaped goo, instead of actually bonding with a host. The last few moments that we see the other symbiotes bond with a host is like the ending battle, which is a few moments, and we're supposed to feel bad about them dying, to feel sad about the symbiotes dying, which, yeah, I did feel bad, because they were there to protect, and that's exactly what they did. They sacrificed themselves, even though the government treated them like prisoners. And you feel bad for Venom knowing he had family, and basically that was another painful thing throughout the movie, is that Eddie and Venom wish they had more time to venture out, going to city, not being the lethal protectors, and not stay in one spot. And enjoy the life, and enjoy other people's company, like have friends, have family. Okay, we got hinted that Eddie wanted a girl. The girl scientist was originally supposed to be his girlfriend, but that got scrapped for some reason. or edit out. Um, or and then Venom realized there was other symbiotes on Earth, and yet they quickly hop onto a human to help Venom get away. And even though we, just like Venom, we barely knew these symbiotes as like as the and since they can finally talk and have a voice, we felt bad because we knew Venom finally knew he had family, but that he could have friends, family, and yet they sacrificed themselves to save Venom and Eddie from the xenomorph symbiote. And it's like, and as quickly as that went, and then as quickly the movie ending even more progressed, you see more and more, faster and faster of like more xenomorph symbiotes showing up on Earth to kill Eddie and Venom. The sacrificing of Venom was sad, but since if you're a fan and you already know that Eddie is going to be in Tom Holland's Spider-Man 4, then yeah, sure, you're barely gonna shed a tear because you know Eddie and Venom will survive. You basically already know Venom is still alive in another universe. You still know that basically there's a possibility Venom is still alive in his universe. The blonde scientist girl, wear the symbiote suit. She's still wearing her symbiote suit at the very end, and it was lightning power. She's basically a symbiote Flash, and that kind of looks like a Scream, but instead of yellow and black, it's black and purple. Which I guess is cool because of her origin story, the character's origin story, but the just little fucking things in this movie that quickly went past. And you don't go to see a Venom movie to see a big chunk of hippies, big chunk of the movie of hippies, or a big chunk of the movie of dancing, or a big chunk of the movie of Eddie whining that he has no shoes, or he had a hangover throughout the whole entire movie, or he you, when you go see a Venom movie, sure, he's on the run, that's okay. That basically Venom, that you go, and even though Eddie wants to protect Venom still, which that's exactly what he kind of still does, is show up and sacrifice himself. That Eddie and Venom will sacrifice each other, and even though that's what you kind of still got, I mean, but it's just, and we're supposed to have more, and with a Venom comic, exactly what you're supposed to have for a Venom movie, like we did with the first two Venom movies. We take time, learn about the symbiotes that the government took and have. Learn what they are. Get a connection with them. Have Venom allow Eddie have a love interest for once in his life. Allow him to be able to move on. But it's just, Mrs. Chen I like, but I didn't like the idea of Eddie not even caring two shits that she was there. It was like, really? the woman basically helped you take care of yourself, and yet you're not even caring that you're seeing her. I know I'm really shitting on this movie, even though I really like Venom as a character. I like basically anything of Spider-Man. But yeah, the popcorn bucket and the cup, seeing Null twice, because in the beginning, that was the first time you see Null after Venom died. Well, basically 3 times after Venom died, or at least for right now, as you may think he died, because Sony already said that Tom Hardy, Eddie Brock, and Tom Hardy Venom will be in Tom Holland's Spider-Man 4, and the title for Tom Holland's Spider-Man 4 will be The King in Black. Post-credit scene, after they show that Null gets sucked back into a complete symbiote ball prison. So I guess too strong, thick string chains wasn't enough, of symbiote chains wasn't enough to hold Null, apparently. Which makes sense if he's supposed to be the most strongest being, but the second post-credit scene sucks. I mean, it's not even worth watching. But the first post-credit scene, that is worth watching, because it's Null holding a sword, basically like this, saying, I will be back. I will conquer all worlds. I will be, because I am the King in Black. Boom. Goes to the other post-credit scenes. And basically, which is the main title for Tom Holland's Spider-Man 4. But since how bad this Venom movie is, I wouldn't be shocked if Sony hesitates and say, look, Tom Hardy, we're sorry, but even though, yeah, it's our fault, but they won't admit that. They'll blame it on Tom Hardy, like they did with Andrew Garfield, that, hey, yeah, look, Venom 3 was your fault, and because how bad it was, so you're not going to be in Tom Holland's Spider-Man 4, so we're going to change the title to that. So sadly, fans aren't going to see a live-action Null, or you return as your Venom, so bye. But Kevin Feige, on one hand, he could still push that issue, because Kevin Feige has more strings, more words to say on the MCU Tom Holland Spider-Man than Sony does, even though Sony likes to feel like they have more strength over that subject when they don't. Which was another reason why Sony was going to have and bring up their own Spider-Man. Just Jesus. So, and another thing I do like, other than the scenes of Null, sure, we don't get to see much of Null, like the detail of Null, but as quick as the post-credit scene was, like the rest of the movie, even though the post-credit scene, like some of the scenes of Null was very slow and not that quick, like the post-credit scene, it did feel a little quick, like the beginning scene, but it had slow enough detail where we could see Null go from this, raising his head and showing his sharp teeth and his detail of like wrinkles and white pale skin. We didn't really get to see his eyes, but I was very hesitant on the actor that played Gollum in Lord of the Rings, also on Black Panther, going to also the director of Venom Let There Be Carnage, of being the actor chosen to play Null, being the voice for Null as well, which of course, um, uh, I was scared because not trying to be mean to him, going from Gollum to some of his other movies, he doesn't do really much different voice for each of his characters. He does the same voice, but but for Null, it was different. You could hear a little bit of him, a little bit, but not much. It to me, it felt like it was covered by like a different type of stronger, darker voice. But other than the popcorn bucket, the drink cup, movie theme uh style, and some of the scenes of Null, some of the action scenes, even though they were mostly pretty quick, like one blink you miss it type thing. The graphics, not the graphics. That's it. It is the only good things about this movie. Story plot, there is no story plot. It's just random shit. Symbiotes, the other symbiotes are a good thing. That was another good thing that I liked about this movie, along with the graphics, Null scenes, and the movie theme, Popcorn Bucket and Cup. But story plot sucked because there is no story plot. It's just random shit. The pacing didn't really feel like a good pace for a movie. I felt like I was watching a TikTok video. Pretty much a random, non-stop, quick TikTok video of Venom that somebody made up. That wasn't really that good. And I have TikTok, and that's kind of sad to say. That basically it felt like a terrible TikTok video, and I have came across a few horrible, bad TikTok videos. But other than that, it just, yeah, it's not that good of a movie to go see in theaters. I mean, shit. The first movie I actually liked, and that would have been worth to go see. The second movie I actually saw in theaters, and I was proud to say I was happy to see that in theaters. This one, no. The second Venom movie I actually have seen in theaters. Even though that, like I saw the second one, which I'd be my first Venom movie I saw in theaters. So as the third movie being the second Venom movie I've seen in theaters, no. I will say it's not even worth going. It's not even bother to see in the theater. I mean, I would rather go and see The Joker, Foully Ado, or whatever, Joker 2, or Terrifier 3 again, than Venom The Last Dance. Is it worth to rent? Sure, I would have rented it. Or will I still buy it? Fair enough question. Yeah, I will still buy it to say I have the complete all three movies, and it's a good time killer movie. But other than that, I mean, sure, would I sound like a hypocrite of still buying it? Sure, but if you need a good time killer, and you're not really in the mood, but to like try and watch the second one or first one, but you need something quick, something that would kill time quick. Venom 3 will be it. Drop your comments down below. Anything Venom, anything Marvel. Drop your comments down below. If you didn't like anything that I did in this video, please let me know so I could change it of whatever I did wrong. If you did like something I did in this video, please tell me so I could do more of it. Hit that like button if you liked this video. Hit that dislike button if you didn't like this video. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't hit that subscribe button already. Or if you're just a newcomer randomly dropping by, because I welcome all new and old subscribers with open arms. If you're an old subscriber, welcome back. I appreciate you guys always keep coming back. I know this is a long video. I'm sorry about that. But have a nice day. Have a nice night. Whenever you're watching this. Peace.